relationships and personal development, I will tell you, that's not my gift. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. You probably think differently about that, but me, um, I'm I love to be a secluded guy. I love to hold a remote control, and if nobody said anything to me for days on end, I would be happy in that. I would be totally happy. I know I don't come across that way, but I promise you, that's my nature. My wife, on the other hand, loves holding babies and loves making connections, and that's really her gift, is connecting with people. I have to really step outside my comfort zone, especially when there's conflict, because I'm a no drama, low drama guy. I don't really want to be around that. I know none of us, all of us say we don't want to be around it, but yet some of us cause it. I'm sorry, I had to say that, but it's so true. The reality is I don't want to be around drama. And if you're drama, my knee-jerk reaction is to be silent, is to not be violent, but to be silent and to go away, to just not be. But I have to step outside of my comfort zone in the relationship area and say, hey, how do we fix this? Right. So that is, and I'm going to share something with you, an intimate story. I've shared it before, but it's an important one. Right. So I felt like my daughter is, at the time, she's 25 now. So she was 23, 23 and a half. And I really felt like there was a wall that was between us. We weren't fighting. We were just very much alike. I think that's probably the issue, is she's a lot like her pops, right? Behavioral wise, he has a lot of my traits, and her and I weren't connecting very well. Not fighting, but just not close as I would like, as close as I would like. So I started one morning, I started putting stickum notes onto her window when she would leave to go to school or college and work. And it would just say, hey, just want to let you know I love you and I believe in you. Didn't say anything to her mom, my wife, Claudia, didn't say anything and never said a word to her. And much to my surprise, she never said a word to me either. Like, I was putting those stick-em notes on her car just about every single day at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning during my quiet time. I'd sneak out, sneak back in. She'd disappear at 6 a.m. Never said a word about those notes. One day, and this went on for a long time, a couple months. One day, I don't know how it came up. My wife and I were talking, and somehow she goes, "Are you talking about those?" And I had never brought this up to my wife. My wife knew nothing about this, at least as far as I knew. Well, somehow it came up, and she goes, "Are you talking about those notes?" And I said, "What notes?" And she said, "The notes that you've been putting on her window." I says, "Well, how did you know about that?" She says, "Well, I was going to get coffee with her the other day, and she put down her visor, and all the notes that you've been putting on her window are stuck to the bottom of her visor. She's trying to figure out how to save them as a keepsake because they're very special to her." Pretty cool stuff. And I share that with you just because that is so far outside. Like I started out by saying, that is not an easy walk for me. But here's the intangible thing that happened out of that. Even before my wife said anything, I realized that our communication was getting better. The conversation was getting longer. She was more open and receptive to my suggestions and ideas. So, and now we're currently, she was looking for, and here's another relational thing. She was looking for a, one of her tenures at work had ended. She was looking for employment. She's still going to college. I said, look, why don't we start a business together? So we're currently working. I sent her some links to some courses that I saw for a side hustle. She's currently going through those classes, and we're designing T-shirts together that it will sell on Amazon. We'll order them one at a time. So we're working together, and I think that wall coming down from those sticker notes has opened up that line of communication to where we can do that.